As you may have already seen in the news, on March 28, 2025, at 12:50 and 54 seconds p.m. local time, a magnitude 7.7 earthquake hit central Myanmar, formerly known as Burma. The quake was so strong its waves rippled through multiple neighboring countries, including Thailand, where it hit the Bangkok region the hardest. Before I continue, my thoughts and prayers go out to those who have been affected by this tragedy, especially for those who have lost loved ones. I've got many questions regarding this earthquake that I'm hoping a little science and math can answer. Starting with, how long did it take the earthquake waves to reach our home in Phitsanulok, Thailand? Heck, how fast did it travel? Luckily, I can calculate this based upon camera footage I have at home. But before I answer the question, I would like to share my experience with this quake because it was a weird one for me. Coming from California, I'm no stranger to earthquakes. Growing up as a kid, it seemed like we had earthquakes every few months. The largest was the 1989 Loma Prieta earthquake, which measured 6.9 on the Richter scale. That was a violent quake and quite terrifying. I remember any time we had an aftershock, my heart would pound like it was just going to come out of my chest. It was scary. Traumatic is probably the best word to describe it. Fast forward to the recent Myanmar earthquake, the experience was very, very different. My wife and I were visiting her sister who lives in Phetchabun, Thailand, which is about 2.5 hours drive from our house in Phitsanulok. We were there to participate in an event to honor the 100 days following the passing of her late husband. I will have a video on this soon. I was watching a group of ladies prepare and cook food for the event. I grabbed my camcorder and started to record. Seconds into filming, I started to feel dizzy and I was rocking back and forth. Kind of felt like I was doing this. Now, sometimes I get dizzy when I zoom into something using this camera, but then I realized I wasn't zooming in. What was going on? I honestly thought I was having some sort of medical emergency. I quickly turned the camcorder off and set it down. The feeling was not going away. I asked myself, was this an earthquake? It can't be. I never felt like this before, and it was not stopping either. It was at this time I started to focus on the group of ladies. They were all feeling the same way. I grabbed the camera and resumed filming. My brain now recognized it was an earthquake. Thinking I missed the good part, boy was I wrong. It continued to shake and shake and shake, but for how long? I'll discuss this later in the video. Knowing I have security cameras at our home in Phitsanulok, I quickly opened the Unify Protect app from Ubiquiti to review the footage. While the app was loading in the background, I was scouring the list of recent earthquakes on the usgs.gov website. I kept looking for something, anything in Thailand, thinking we got rocked from something emanating from Chiang Mai or Chiang Rai. After all, I knew it was a big quake based upon the duration and that terrible dizzying feeling. Website results? Nothing. It would be minutes later that I would learn that it was not coming from Thailand, but the next country over, Myanmar. I switched back to the Unify Protect app. Luckily, my cameras are set to record continuously, so I would not miss a thing. I guesstimated the time it hit, and sure enough, the cameras caught movement. Granted, it was not as chaotic as the videos coming out of Myanmar or Bangkok, but the proof the house was hit was there. Every camera's saved video showed confirmation of an earthquake. The most interesting out of all the camera views was our front gate. The inside cameras showed doors and hanging light fixtures swinging as if possessed by some unknown entity. But the gate, that video was special. It showed the moment the shaking began, how long it lasted, and when it subsided. Just the evidence I needed to answer the first question. how long did it take the earthquake waves to reach our house in Thailand? Based upon reports, the earthquake struck Myanmar at 12:50 and 54 seconds p.m. local time. Using the timestamp in our Thailand home security video, which is locked to a network time protocol or NTP clock, the shaking began at 1:24 and 2 seconds p.m. Adjusting the Myanmar and Thailand clocks to Coordinated Universal Time, or UTC, the clocks are 6:20 and 54 seconds and 6:24 and 2 seconds UTC respectively. Subtracting Myanmar time from Thailand time, it took 3 minutes and 8 seconds for the waves to hit our home. First question answered. So how fast were the waves traveling? For that, more calculations are needed. First, I need to find the distance between the epicenter in Myanmar and our home in Phitsanulok, Thailand. Using Google Maps and the distance tool, I get 734.34 kilometers, or 458.16 miles, as the crow flies. I did some rough calculations and came up with a huge number that didn't make sense. So I Googled how fast earthquake waves travel and got various answers, all depending on the type of quake that was generated, the fault that ruptured, and the rocks in the ground. The one common response was the unit, either kilometers per second or miles per second. Frankly, this means nothing to me other than real fast. What does mean something to me is kilometers per hour or miles per hour. After all, these units I use every day while driving, using the distance of 737.34 kilometers and the time it took to traverse the land of 3.13 seconds, with 0.13 coming from 8 divided by 60, 0.13. The waves were traveling 14,134 kilometers per hour, or 8,783 miles per hour. This is 11.45 times the speed of sound. And for you fighter pilots out there, Mach 11.45. So, we know how long it took to reach our home in Phitsanulok, Thailand. 3 minutes, 8 seconds. We know the distance it traveled from the epicenter to our home. That's 737.34 kilometers, or 458.16 miles. We know the wave speed, which was 14,134 kilometers per hour, or 8,783 miles per hour. But how long did it shake? For that, I returned to our front gate. Reviewing the video, it shook 2 minutes and 52 seconds. That's almost 3 minutes long. Wow. That explains why I had enough time to pick up the video camera and record most of the event. And for reference, this is our front gate. This thing must weigh 200 to 250 pounds. It's very heavy. I'd probably say it's on the heavier side. It's made out of thick-walled square tubing, steel. It's also got this weird, pressed fiberboard. It's not made out of wood. It's some other material, but it's also very heavy. So stacked up, this thing is just a beast. You have to literally put your back into it when you open and close it. So if it's out of this little slot here, you can see that I can push it back and forth like this. But for it to slide open and close. Again, it takes some effort. I mean, the wind's not going to blow it. So in that video, you could see the thing just opening and closing by itself. And the thing that absolutely shocks me is that the door was able to get itself right between the little notch here perfectly. The gate actually kind of sags towards the outside a little bit, but somehow with the earth shaking, it sagged inwards and was able to go right into the slot. Like so. Crazy earthquake. The science and math associated with this earthquake is amazing. You know, I tried to decide which type of earthquake is better. The one that makes you feel terrified or the one that makes you feel dizzy and sick. In the end, I'd like to skip both types of earthquakes. Ultimately, I have no say in this. As long as plate tectonics presides, we're kinda along for the ride. Literally. Stay safe, and if you know anybody that was affected by this particular earthquake, please help them as best you can. Enjoy every day, because you never know when it may be your last. Thanks for watching. Until the next adventure, and hopefully it won't be another earthquake. See ya! So we just had an earthquake, and I literally thought that, like every time I'd zoom with this camera, it makes me kind of feel sick. So I thought, oh, I'm zooming, but then I realized, wait, I'm not zooming, and it's moving. And stupid me, I turned the camera off. I didn't record the initial hit, but after that, I mean, it was just rocking back and forth, like rocking a baby to sleep. That was weird. That was really, really weird. It was very long too. I'm gonna have to look on the internet to find out what magnitude or anything like that. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, please click one of the video links below or click the playlist.